Strava is killing FATMAP and is failing to address the concerns of tens of thousands of loyal users. Strava announced earlier this year that it would be retiring FATMAP and integrating some of its many features into Strava. Well, the integration is now just about 1 month away, and they have still failed to adequately describe what this transition is going to look like to the community. This is leaving FATMAP's loyal user base, mainly winter backcountry recreationalists, completely in the dark regarding what's going to happen upon this shift on October 1st, 2024. So I put together a petition calling for Strava not to delete FATMAP. You can find the link in the description or at change.org/save-FATMAP. Do I think that it's actually going to save FATMAP? No, definitely not. However, I had the time on my hands and this has been pissing me off. I was waiting months for, just some indication from Strava of what the transition was going to look like. And now we're like 5 weeks away from this transition, and it's no clearer. There's been no further information provided. So I'm just getting ready to lose this mapping software that I've been using religiously over the last several years. Even though I don't think this will necessarily get Strava not to delete FATMAP, I do think it's really important that the community shows some sort of resistance when big faceless tech companies just scrap and delete our beloved programs. Like, I've gotten some feedback so far saying I should basically just like roll over, accept it, and like move to a different app. Now, I do plan to move to a different app, but that's not really providing good feedback for these companies. Like, the 1% or less of their user base they're gonna lose because of deleting FATMAP is peanuts compared to their bread and butter of running and cycling. So I kind of want to drag them through the coals a bit and make them sweat and, just sort of set a precedent that the community is not just gonna like roll over and accept this horrible treatment. If you're getting anything out of this or you like the take, just consider liking, commenting, and subscribing so we can get this in front of more people. Help show Strava you're not just gonna roll over. And if you're one of the people who's gonna tell me to roll over, maybe you should roll over before you comment. Nah, just kidding. You can go ahead and comment, tell me I'm dumb, tell me I'm stupid, tell me you don't like this. All welcome criticism. I have done quite a bit of searching online, and the only time I've found them directly addressing these concerns are by a moderator going by the name Scout in the Strava community hub under a thread titled "What to Expect as FATMAP Transitions to Strava." One user there replied to this thread, summing up the sentiment in the community by asking, "Hi, my favorite feature of FATMAP by far was the ability to view slope and avalanche risk maps for free on the app and website. Will this be brought over for Strava's free tier? Thanks." I may note that this has not even been mentioned as a capability in paying tiers in Strava as of yet. Moderator Scout replied, "Thank you for your post. At the moment, we cannot share exactly when individual mapping features will be ready in Strava. However, we will share your comments about the slope and avalanche risk maps and to the appropriate team. We hope to have more information to share in the coming months." Well, Strava will apparently permanently delete FATMAP on October 1st, so their timeline of within a few months is completely laughable. Anyone with half a brain cell can tell that this is a completely inadequate way to treat your customer base. To leave them hanging in limbo, wondering if the functionality will be transferred into Strava until mere weeks before their beloved software is permanently deleted. Anyone with half a brain cell will also know that a large faceless tech corporation showing this little care to communicate and show transparency towards their client base is extremely unlikely to meet their hopes. Next, I'm just going to describe some of the tools at risk of deletion that the winter backcountry community is most concerned about losing. I may note that although other mapping software does provide some of these tools, the visualization capabilities of FATMAP are far superior to any of the competition. Currently, there will be a big niche and hopefully people step up. First of all, and most importantly to skiers, snowmobilers, split boarders, and the like, is the avalanche slope layer. For those of you who are not familiar with it, this tool takes 5-degree increments of slope angle and assigns them a color to convey potential avalanche characteristics at that angle. It assigns no overlay to terrain under 25 degrees, reflecting how unlikely it is for an avalanche to occur at said slope. Keep in mind that this does not mean this terrain is safe because it could be exposed to overhead hazard. It assigns light yellow to 25 to 30 degree terrain, dark yellow to 30 to 35 degree terrain, orange to 35 to 40 degree terrain, dark orange to 40 to 45 degree terrain, and red to terrain above 45 degrees of slope. This allows for really quick and easy visualization and identification of avalanche terrain. When used in conjunction with their amazing winter satellite imagery layer, it's a winning combination. Their slope angle layer has not been discussed whether it will be transferred over to Strava as well. It's currently not in the app. Although many other apps do provide this layer, Strava's amazing satellite imagery really increases the utility of it, and having them all within one nice package is a great tool. Strava has also not communicated if they will be incorporating other layers such as aspect, flats, elevation, and distance. These are 4 other terrain layers in FATMAP that can be a huge help in route planning. Flats and aspect are also especially useful in planning winter routes and determining safe ways to navigate avalanche terrain. Another feature on the chopping block is live snow depth and all the live snow features. Some of the more amazing features in FATMAP are the live snow depth, fresh snow, and snow forecast layers. I have no idea how FATMAP has managed this, but they are surprisingly accurate in my experience and can help so much in determining appropriate trips in early season or lower snowfall areas where coverage is a major question. Obviously, there has also been total radio silence from Strava regarding these layers and the switch. As I've already discussed, FATMAP's winter satellite imagery is amazing and useful to all sorts of winter backcountry recreationalists. It is unknown whether this will be added to Strava as well, and as of making this video, it has not been added, and there is, once again, radio silence from Strava regarding this. FATMAP has the most comprehensive, high quality, and easy to use winter satellite imagery of any major mapping app by far, in my opinion, and the opinion of many others, especially when pertaining to navigating in steep terrain in the winter. So to sum it up, Strava so far has included none of this functionality, and weeks from the change, they haven't even let their customers know if they will include this, which is totally unacceptable from a customer service and transparency standpoint. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not actually against FATMAP integrating with Strava at all. The thing is, to do it properly, they would have needed to make the decisions about what to include ahead of time and consult their loyal clientele before announcing the death of FATMAP. They should have been honest and transparent about what will be included and what won't be. If a beloved feature was not to be included, they should have maybe asked themselves, why are we alienating a huge segment of our customer base from the company, FATMAP, that we just purchased? At this point, I would not be surprised if they didn't include any of these features at all, seeing as skiing, let alone backcountry skiing, isn't even listed as a routing option in Strava Maps currently. Also, the backcountry winter recreation community is likely peanuts compared to running and cycling, which are Strava's bread and butter. You need to communicate with your customers to retain their loyalty and your own credibility. From here on, there are some things you could do better, but realize that at this point, your actions in themselves are a failure due to the lack of communication and transparency with your loyal customer base. What could Strava do to fix this situation? Well, first of all, at a bare minimum, I think it's appropriate to delay deleting FATMAP by a year. Strava has not provided guides, other professionals, or recreational users a valid alternative or the means to plan their next season within their software. With the first snowflakes flying in the high alpine very soon now, if not already, the announcement or lack thereof of what features will be included in Strava is unacceptably late. This also begs the question, why? Why delete the most beloved mapping software in the winter backcountry recreation community? Why delete something that's working so well for so many people? Strava bought an amazing company that had the market segment cornered and was basically universally loved, only to crush what made it so special. It's hard to see any other reason for its deletion other than to erase a competitor. However, they bought it. It wasn't even a competitor anymore. It really seems like it must have been the decision of corporate bureaucrats who would never even dream of half the capabilities of FATMAP and were just seeking to streamline the company through layoffs or whatever else they could possibly benefit from by not having the two as separate entities. It really looks like a case of big tech just taking a small, loved company, scrapping them for parts, and just throwing the rest in the trash. I think I speak on behalf of pretty much the entire backcountry skiing community when I say, Could you not, Strava? Could you not just leave FATMAP alone? Honestly, I'm almost at a lack of words here because I cannot make any clear sense of why they're doing this, and they have not given any clear answers. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, the terrain and snow features will be added and they will get rid of their god-awful ego-catering slope depiction that makes neighborhood ski hills look like sheer cliffs. Currently, this is the map that we have on the desktop version. I highly doubt they'll include all of these, as it doesn't make sense when you look at their user base that's mainly cyclists and runners. Why would they include these complex layers in Strava that will basically only confuse 99% of the users? If this wasn't enough already, we do have it confirmed that all of the guidebook and public and private routing data will be permanently deleted come October 1st. This is an invaluable database created by the community, compiled over a decade. I really feel for all the industry professionals with extensive collections of data on FATMAP that are forced to navigate switching over to another platform with inferior visualization capabilities. Okay, well, next, I'd like to also include my feedback to Strava regarding their announcement of the transition on their community hub. So I've tried reaching Strava on social media in multiple ways, and in their support on their website, the contact they give that would be relevant is developers@strava.com. However, when I email that, I get an automated response directing me towards the Strava Community Hub. So I go on the Strava Community Hub, and there's literally one thread and like 30 comments about this, because it's kind of like a weird spot to have this discussion. Like, it's not main social media. They're obviously trying to keep this out of the limelight. Anyways, there, my only spot I've been able to reach them so far, I've left this letter as feedback and, currently still have no response, but I'm just gonna read that letter. Hi there, myself and the entire backcountry skiing community is very concerned about this transition. We are afraid that we will be losing all of the functionality of FATMAP with regards to layers. Most urgently, this includes slope, winter satellite imagery, snow depth, and avalanche slope color grading. Almost the entire winter backcountry recreation community relies on FATMAP to plan safe navigation in mountainous winter terrain. The current functionality of Strava isn't even close, and the stylized inaccurate exaggeration of prominence on the desktop version also makes determining slope angle much more difficult, as well as navigation in general. Could you please reply to address these concerns? I am worried that this winter we will not be able to plan as safely in the backcountry due to the loss of this beloved mapping program. This could possibly even result in an uptick of avalanche-related injuries and deaths around the world as it becomes more difficult to plan routes. I think I speak for practically the whole backcountry skiing community when I say, please do not cancel FATMAP and leave us without our beloved navigational tools. There is nothing comparable to FATMAP's functionality currently in other mapping software like Gaia, CalTopo, or even Strava for that matter. Now, there are a few emerging ones that are aiming to fill this niche that's going to be left available. Strava would be absolutely shooting themselves in the foot to cancel FATMAP without including the functionality of the layering and terrain ratings and opting for an exaggerated relief. I have personally loved Strava for the past couple of years, but this transition has changed my opinion on Strava. It has not adequately been communicated what will be transferred over, and the current state of things is extremely lacking. Please address these concerns. I'm sure you are aware of the uproar in the winter backcountry community. And, that was a few days ago and still no response. As for me, I am planning to switch entirely to Gaia for route and navigational purposes, as well as exploring new options that are emerging to fill this niche. My next letter may be to Gaia, asking them nicely to consider adding the features described in this video to their lovely app, seeing as Strava is apparently taking care of their main competitor in the winter backcountry sphere for them. To the FATMAP developers, anyone want to chime in about how you feel to see your little map baby being snuffed out by Strava? How do you like seeing them buy you out, snatch a quarter of the functionality, and just scrap the rest? Strava, I hate to have to say this, but as much as I've thoroughly enjoyed using your app before this fiasco, you sincerely suck ass. Now, after that, I just wanted to shout out 3 small independent mapping programs that I've been made aware of. Onyx, contour, and outmap. Since I've posted this in South Coast Touring, BC South Coast's local Facebook group, I've gotten some feedback, and these were 3 that sort of popped up out of the cracks that I'm gonna be checking out myself now and seeing what functionality they provide. I have obviously encountered a bit of criticism of my take after posting it, although the vast majority of it's been supportive. As of making this, like, I posted the petition last night and we've already got over 200 signatures, and that number's growing quickly. I'm hoping that this YouTube video is going to create some more traction for it. Anyways, this has been my TED Talk. My TED Talk on why Strava currently sucks. Thanks for tuning in. Please support my petition in the link in the description or at change.org/SaveFatMap. Show that you don't like it when big tech corporations mess up the stuff you love. And now, to thank my biggest sponsor, Rise and Alpine's Liquid Courage Ski Sauce. Woo! A spicy ski sauce guaranteed to make you ski faster and burn faster. Oh, great Red Bull replacement. Buy your own at skisauce.com. I'll drop some other videos here for you guys to check out. Mainly on the channel here, I do like trail running and ski adventures, so yeah, feel free to check out that stuff. I try to make it nice and high quality and bingeable. I've got it in some nice playlists for you, so feel free to give those a look. Strava sucks ass.